and we'll take it from there. 30% in. Yeah, we're live. So I'm sending the link now to you guys. That's the link.
All right.
So
Good. We're happy to be back here. Today I have my brother, Mr. Jude. Mr. Jude. Afeyodion. You know, Jude, when I saw your name, I saw your name, Jude Osa Afeyodion. Then I was trying to place it, and I saw you went to University of Ibadan. So I'm thinking, are you a South guy or you're a Southwestern guy?
I'm a South guy.
I saw the Osa Delta or
They had the kingdom in Nigeria, the rich proper kingdom.
Benin. Brian, this guy is a wizard or he's a witch. They are anywhere you see a Benin man, they are always free. Oh, I've come to like the Benin people, you know. And we've had several shows here. Most times they are the one we just talk about. We talk about a lot of issues from the Benin Kingdom. So bro, this is the time that we share. So you can look at copy the link. Okay. And send it. Then you share it on your Facebook.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
So it's basically a chat.
yeah, and Jude, you can share on homies and all of those.
Okay.
Which one do you think is again? Dude, which one down?
Now Africans in diaspora. Let's look at something. Now Israeli. Now it's not Africans diaspora.
Oh wow.
Africans and Israeli. Oh, I want Israeli guys center. Nice center.
Okay. I like the Benin people. Okay. I like their resilience, and when I got to hear about their history, that made me to fall in love with them the more again.
You know, when you talk about before the amalgamation of the country by the British government, you know, the Benin people were already having trade with the European people, especially the Portuguese. And when the Portuguese started to populate Benin, they came in, like, the Benin was the first kingdom to have street lights. The city be lighted up.
Thank you very much.
In the whole Africa.
Today, I've always told them that before the Portuguese people came, if I'm correct, the Benin people had street lights.
They had street lights on before the advent of the Portuguese. And when the advent of the Portuguese came in, they came in to the city of Benin. People were asked. Not once, not twice they came. It was not succeed that the British government came into. And even before the British kingdom was started by the British people, it was the betrayal by the forefather of the present governor of Edo State.
Yeah. Oh, Obaseki, he's the forefather of Obaseki.
Obaseki was not betrayed of our environment.
Wow.
The forefather of Obaseki was nobody. He was working in the palace. The king fell in love with him. And the king knew one of the title chiefs in the palace because the king fell in love with him.
Oh,
and
wow.
The king, like a PA. And even the gave him a daughter to get married to, so that the friendship he had with the Baseki's family will go on.
Okay.
But along the because of money, he betrayed the king. He was to let the secret of the kingdom to the British people.
Wow. So is this some kind of is this some kind of myth, or is something that is documented that I read somewhere?
It's documented. That is what Shomola is trying to use against him. That his forefather betrayed the Benin Kingdom. That's in way he is betraying him too.
Oh wow! and Brian, you know the guys that Osas is talking about. Jude, can I call you Osas?
Yeah, sure.
Good. That Osas is talking about. You know, they are the guys that were that we wrote the invitation to come and join us. So we get the politicians that are running for election in Edo State. You remember? Yeah. So they are the ones we're trying to get here, so that they come and tell the people what he's going to do differently if he's elected.
Yeah.
So these are the people that Osas is talking about.
Oh wow.
Wow. So you are already arming us here to ask him some serious questions.
Wow, it becomes a show. There's a lot of questions I will ask him, even with the so-called certificate which you got from UI.
Yes.
We have to dissect
okay.
that. You know, you be on the top seat, because a lot of questions is already there that you voicing. A lot of questions is there that you voice. You be on the top seat, and if we be glad to bring in Oshomole Otto, I was letting be on hot seat, because
that's interesting.
The government is running against Pastor Zeyamu.
He's running
against Oshomole.
I agree totally. I agree totally.
He's just the face of Oshomole, of the APC chair, the former APC chairman.
Yes.
So it's the battle between Oshomole and Vaseki.
Wow. It seems you know so much. You keep very much, even though you are speaking from the US. Listeners, if you are watching, this is Jude Osa Afolanya Afeyodion. Afeyodion. He's my brother from the Benin Kingdom. I've loved the Benin Kingdom. Everybody knows that. I like their culture. I like their heritage. So I'm happy. I'm happy. Myself and Brian were happy to have Osas on our show today. Osas, you're very much welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. How is Nigeria?
Nigeria, we're always fine. Even though we were in a boiling water, Nigerians are always fine. Nigeria, we're fine. I mean, things are not looking so good. A lot of issue, like what we're going to talk about, the Magu issue is going on. They are killing people in southern Kaduna. They are killing people in Maiduguri, in the northeast.
The Boko Haram, the Boko Haram, the terrorists, and the Fulani herdsmen issue. A lot of issue going on.
Yeah, exactly. So, but us Nigerians, we're resilient, and we're here. Everybody is still going on. We believe we're all going to get past it.
Like what I said to people, I said, come, like the Israeli nation, which have their God-choosing people. Nigeria is a God-choosing country, because yes, people say it's by mistake that the amalgamation came into place. But God have a reason for it, because when you look at the crisis that have befell Nigeria, started from the time of June 1993, that people looked at the country will break into pieces, and that will be the end of the country. Nigeria was able to stand it up and pull up. Look at the time when the Massop and Co were hitting back on the oil, something that, this will be the end of the country. Nigeria is already disintegrating. Nigeria was able to come out of it. And when you look at every scenario that would say, okay, this is the end, this is the end, this is the end. This is the end of Nigeria. Well, even when you talk about during the last election, where they were looking at, this Nigeria is a project. That they saw a document which said Nigeria is a project, that Nigeria was disintegrated after 100 years.
Yeah.
The country was still able to come out of it.
Yeah. We're still here.
That's what they said. Like what fella would say, suffering and smiling.
Exactly.
Nigeria is going through serious problem that would have led to the disintegration of the country, which other countries have faced, and they have been that was the end of the country, and countries have gone to pieces. But Nigeria will be able to still strive on, going through the suffering.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with you, Osas. Our resilience, Nigeria is never going to break up. I don't see it. I don't see Nigeria breaking up. Nigerians want to live together, and you see, anytime. anytime you see my colleague Brian smiles, I've come to understand that he wants to say something. I'm sure Brian wants to tell Jude a little bit of his philosophy, or you want Jude to tell us about his little beginnings.
Exactly. And I think it tells about his beginning, so you don't just drop too much wisdom and then people are wondering like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? Yeah.
So Jude, Osas would like to know your humble beginnings. Who is Jude? Tell us from day one, when you were born, primary one, primary two, the streets of Benin, Oba Kingdom, Oba Ase, Oba Atuekpe, Ese. Oh,
I see.
that's so, my brother.
The Oba Benin is going to make you one of the chiefs too.
Amen.
The Oba Benin is going to make you one of the chiefs too.
Amen.
From Edo State, precisely Ebohimi. That is
Some issues with the live video on Facebook. So can someone confirm and let me know? Okay, it's back. Okay, it's back. All right.
That is interesting.
Live video on Facebook. So can you?
All right, Osas, can you hear me, Osas?
Go on, yeah.
I can hear you clearly.
Good. So, Osas, tell us about your primary school, your upbringing, on for your home. How did you get to become who you are today?
I'm Jude Afeyodion from a strong Catholic family. My dad is a knight in the Catholic Church and is a very strong Catholic man. Everything I've learned in life today is through him, is from him. When he says a walking saint, an upright person, a walking saint, that is my dad. And he always, like I said, I was born and raised up in Ibadan in the 70s. I went to my primary school, St. Richard Primary School, Jericho. From there, I went to LLA Secondary School in Ibadan too. From after my secondary school, I went for a diploma in Afeyodion University, but I left to the seminary hoping to be a Catholic priest.
Oh, good.
So I was in the seminary when I left, after some philosophical questions, which I raised, personal questions, I felt it was for me to leave the seminary to serve God and to serve God more and have a clear conscience, because that's something which I raised, which I felt it's not going to voice in. I left and I finished my philosophy from the University of Ibadan. And in my time at the University of Ibadan, I already have the faith that I'm not going to, during that time when I was in secondary school, that was when the SDP and ROC came into place. That was when I GSS 3 then I joined the political party SDP. I was able to single-handedly, as a secondary school student, to install a councillor in my local government, single-handedly. Single-handedly, although the political setting, you always be sure when you make promises that this guy is too young, he's trying something. That was when the SDP and ROC during the Babangida period. So
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, all right. Sorry, continue.
So from there, when I was in university, I already thought about I don't want to work for anybody. I want to make money.
Yeah, you want to make money
by myself. I don't want to say yes sir to anybody. I want to be the CEO of myself and to create income and to be an entrepreneur. So after leaving university, I was always searching for, Dad wanted me to work, and being obedient son, I was searching for work. He bought every newspaper in Nigeria for me, even foreign newspaper journals. Yes, because try for it and get for me. Okay, that possibly foreign jobs and go. So along one of these, I saw a vacancy in one of the Nigerian newspaper dailies, and question the UK company looking for Nigerian graduates that have 2 or master's degree. And I applied. I was called for the interview.
1 minute, Jude. Sorry, is it possible to get headphones? I think the interference is coming from the mic. Like the mic is far away. So if you could get like headphones, is it possible to get anyone?
Can I? I only have the Bluetooth.
Yes, the Bluetooth could work too. Even if it's I think you should have.
Let me get Bluetooth then.
You should have this the ports. You should have ports around or any Bluetooth. Yeah, sorry guys, those listening. I noticed there's some kind of interference. I think it's the mic, the air. Those are the physics. It's probably some kind of air that is slicing the voice or the sound, whatever that means. So probably when he gets a mic, we'll get it. But Isaac, you could just give us a recap, very quick of what we were chatting.
Yeah. I mean, this is Nigeria. This is the internet.
Can you hear me now?
It is not perfect yet.
Can you hear me?
But yeah, they see it breaks a little. Let's see.
Just did you get a mic or what?
He needs like headphones.
I just want to hear him speak.
I have my Bluetooth on. I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think that I think I know what's happening to Jude. I think where Jude lives is there is high level of radioactivity traffic. You know, so it is interfering with the. I'm not a scientist. Please don't laugh at me. Yeah, because
can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can. But the thing is, when you are making like long sentences, there's this kind of it's not like it's raspy, but it's like some kind of interference.
Yes, there's some kind of interference. I don't know what raspy mean, but I know that it's in his breaking, his cracking.
Yes, and the way Isaac described it.
Is it clear now?
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you see, it is not. Your voice is clear, but it's just that it cracks. You know, I see some kind of radioactivity crack like that.
Yeah.
You understand? I don't know what to suggest. I don't know what part of the room where you are. If you you can step out. Can you step out?
Let me step out.
All right.
Can you for 2 minutes?
No problem. We were not in a rush. Our listeners, everybody on Topoh Spaces understand what we go through. Yeah. We are basically here to win, so we don't give up. You know, nothing stops genuine conversations from going on, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah, and this is live. Someone is live. Yeah. Everything is.
Hello,
live.
Brian.
Yes. Oh, hope I didn't disconnect.
Yeah, no, you didn't. You didn't. I hope it comes through now, because I think what Osas wants to share with us today is a very topical issue in Nigeria, talking about corruption, not just Nigeria, Africa. This is what has backpedaled the African continent, corruption, and I'm happy that Jude has a lot of interest in that. And you can see he's also a politician himself, because he was involved in NRC SDP election. And for our listeners, our followers who are not in Nigeria, it is interesting to note here that the election which Osas participated in were said to be the best elections ever held, the most democratized elections in Nigeria in terms of fairness. You know, that was when Moshood Abiola, then the richest man in Nigeria, probably Africa, was a billionaire. Yeah, Africa. That was when he ran election, and he was reportedly said to have won. In fact, he has won. Nobody has disputed that. He won at the polls, but then the government of Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida annulled that election, and the man. yes, Brian.
Yeah. So Babangida did not let him have it.
Yes, Babangida did not let him to have it. And you know, a billionaire, his confidence is always very high. He's an international entrepreneur. You know, entrepreneurs are very confident. Yeah. So the man went to, I think he visited another country. Was it South Africa? And he went to that place and declared himself the president of Nigeria. Wow. Or addressed himself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. You dash me that cow.
Yeah, but I think we'll still have the same issue, but just continue.
Yeah.
We'll see.
The same issue?
Yes.
It's better. Yeah, well, you have to
Corruption
be.
is
Yeah.
Jude. Corruption is already fighting you, man.
They don't want to talk about it.
They
They
don't.
don't
They
want
don't
to
want
talk about
it.
it.
They don't want it. They've deployed. They've deployed their counterparts from Benin Kingdom. They are working. Anytime.
They
Anytime
don't want it.
we have technically glitch here. Brian will say, okay, in America they say it's the Russians. I will tell him that in Nigeria they will tell you it's your village people that are following you. So Brian, what do we do about these glitches now?
I don't know. Jude, you need to like. Well, let him continue. If it persists, then we would look for another issue. We would look for another solution.
Yeah.
But let's just continue.
Yeah. Yes. So you were telling us about the impact of your father, about how about the seminary, how your philosophies, you question some philosophies.
So I left the seminary. I finished from University of Ibadan. From there, after I was in, I was like where I stopped. I saw an advert on the Nigerian dailies, from Nigerian dailies, that they need graduates of first class 2-1 and 2-2, and masters of that preferably. So I applied for the interview. I was called to Lagos. On getting there, you see different people. The whole building was filled up. The employment in Nigeria. And I saw guys with tuxedos. People are feel that, they're in position to take this job. But I had one advantage that was there. I was there early, and we were grouped into different groups. And in that point, I was we were called in, and during the discussion, the owner of the companies, the UK guys, would say, they want people to work for them, and they will pay them on commission. And I stood up and I told them that, I can't work for you people. Can I buy a product? And we were dazed and surprised that, who is this guy coming to challenge us that want to buy a product? And I said, if I can't work for you, I can't collect commission, work on commission. I've already had a study. If I'm going to work, I know what I have to earn. So they said, okay, let them have a meeting. They stopped the meeting. I came back after 20 minutes and they said, if I can buy the goods, that was in year 1999. They said, if I can buy the goods, if I can buy the product worth 50,000 naira, that I'm good to do. Using that, hoping to use that to discourage me. And I said, okay, I'm coming back. They should give me next 10 minutes. And I bought goods of 60,000 naira.
He added 10,000.
Jesus.
Mashallah.
Go ahead,
good of 60,000 naira. And I went back to Ibadan. I have an uncle, is Otuba Van. He was the first airline in Nigeria and the first security company in Nigeria. I slept in his place and I told him I was back to Ibadan because I have business to do. And behold, I got to Ibadan and I was able to, within 24 hours, I sold all the goods up and I could, I'm coming back to Lagos again. So my dad was not happy that we said his name was big, that she was going to business, wanting to work. That is how I had a little stake in Skyback for some months, but I was not happy. I was a banker, I was not happy because that was not what I wanted to do. After some time, I left the bank industry, I went to farming. And during that period of farming, that was when the election of the voice, during the Ajumobi election came in, after losing a lot of, after contesting like two times losing the election. And then I was living, the neighborhood I was living, have their color, the former governor of the state, his children are living in the same estate. One of the Ajumobi guys came to me and said, he need me to assist them to win this zone. And I said, okay, what do you want me to do? And he said, for me to put the crowd for them to win. And behold, with the God's help and God's grace and little politics which I understand, I was able to win the zone for the ACC.
ACC, okay, Action Congress.
Action Congress, the former governor of the state. I was able to win the state for him and was win the zone, beating the Akala boys, Akala children, and the local government chairman living in that area too, defeating that zone. So, as Nigeria politics is betrayed also. After promising, when we airport, we will do this thing, we sort it out, we sort this thing. But at the end of the day, thank God God's blessings with one. I was able to help them to win the election in that area, defeating the PDP or the sitting governor's children and the local government chairman living in that area. I was able to put the vote for them, for the APC then. So I was doing well in farming. After a while, with the economy of Nigeria, you don't have a future. You plan and the economy destabilizes you. Then there was scarcity of maize in this country. A lot of things went down. I just thought, let me just take my leave, at least go and build my business plan, have a future. And the country is not helping. That was what I just thought about. And I left the back of my bag and baggage, and I came to US. So, and I've even coming to US, I've not forgotten home, because wherever you are, home is home. Home is home. I still follow up the politics of the country, and I still follow up the news, daily news of the country, to know what is going on. So, and you know, part of me is I love writing and I love politics. I was writing for our Genius, and I believe I wrote one article that affected the former president Olusegun Obasanjo about his corruption in enriching himself when he was a military head of state, using the money Operation Feed the Nation to start off his Obasanjo farm and all the investment he did when he was a military head of state. Because of that, decided my blog was blocked and I could not write for the site again.
Really?
So I have a book which I've completed of female gender, the female child, titled The Female Child, coming up soon. I've finished writing the book and just hoping to publish it. It's on female gender, what the women are going through in the world. What a female child is going through in the world. Why the male child is placed, I feel it's wrong for the male child to be placed above the female child. Everybody, what gender you are, either male or female, you have both equal rights. So I've written a book on the female child in promoting the idea of the female child and to make the world know that you don't look down on the female child. So soon the book will be out. So I belong to Poultry Association of Nigeria because I was a farmer, a poultry farmer, and I belong to Nigerian Writers Association also, Ibadan branch. So, and I'm a volunteer of Educate Trust. The NGO is owned by a renowned gynecologist, Dr. Marino. So I'm a volunteer there too. That's a nutshell about me.
Wow, that's very interesting. You know, I've been listening to, normally when we come here, you know, we listen to people, and by the time they finish talking, myself or Brian have already summarized them. But to me, you are one person that has a lot of components in your life. You did politics. You ventured into business. You are a writer, and I think you also say you work in some NGO, some kind of philanthropy or something.
Yeah, NGO, Educate Trust, Ibadan.
Okay.
Like I said to you, Ibadan gave me, all my life I've been all around Ibadan. Ibadan gave me everything I've been able to achieve in life with the help of the scenario and my dad.
Yes, so interesting. Now you remind me. Brian also was a Catholic and altar boy before he became a Muslim. So I'm sure he will connect. Brian also went to a faith-based school.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. I'm sure he's going to connect with this. Why? What was the philosophy? You said that you had some philosophies in the seminary, which made you to change your mind. What was his philosophy? You ran away? Are you running away from celibacy? Is this celibacy?
Celibacy was not the issue, and you know there are these three major vows which you take: a vows of celibacy, the vows of obedience, and the vows of poverty.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. A businessman cannot do that kind of thing.
It's not okay. Being the vow of poverty and the vow of celebrity was not my problem. My problem was, my issue was vow of obedience. Because question is, I'm a kind of person that believe in, when I see something wrong, I won't tell you it's right to please you.
Yeah.
When I see something going bad, I won't say because you're in position of authority, I can't stand and confront you. I remember when I was leaving the seminary, one of the seniors in the seminary, like a prefect in the seminary then, told me that now you are leaving the seminary for us, go and fight the society. The zeal you have to go and put in the society.
Good.
Because there's no way I see you doing wrong and I know that this is wrong, or you trying to, using your position of authority to bring down someone that is lower than you, or you try to calm down the person. I will come and say, no, I don't mind losing my life. What I need is do the right thing and let justice be.
But I find that a little bit contradicting, because you are on your path to being a priest, you know, yeah. And the priest as the Christians, or the priesthood is separate, is supposed to, is sacred, right?
Yeah.
They are angels. They are like our protectors. They are like the upright in the society.
You know,
so
the question
how did that conflict with you?
No, the question is, when you take the vow of obedience, that means whatever you have to obey your sitting bishop. Even when your bishop tells you this is wrong, and you know it's right, it's completely your mind, you have to listen to him, obey. Like the military form of government, even a general is doing something wrong, and you obey the command first. Obey the command first.
I see.
And that's my own being. My own being is not in that form. If something is wrong, it's wrong. If something is right, it's right. And I ask myself in the future, will I not have a conflicting issue with my bishop or archbishop? What about I see something going on in society and I speak it out and the bishop is against it because possibly they have a relationship with the governor or a sitting person or something. I tell him to say about it. Will I be happy being a priest? And I looked into myself, I won't be happy. And I don't want to find myself in a situation which I'll be against my bishop or archbishop. Better for me to set, there's a way you can worship, better for me to put that to God as a layman than being a priest and go against the authority of the church. Because if you make a vow, if you complete that vow, you are not only making a vow to the people, you are making a vow to God. And if you make a vow to your bishop that you go to obey him, whatever he says, and go against it, even if he's wrong, you have gone against God.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I want to, at the end of my life, find my way to heaven and be not just always live on this earthly world, find my way to heaven. And I don't want to be a priest that will be like a bus stop, like a signpost, leading people to the right direction, and I can get to that direction myself.
Yeah.
So let me stay out of the priesthood and lead people to God. I also worship God the best way and the best form I feel I can worship God. Like the topic which we have today on corruption nursing. Like, okay, I believe I will give a case study of Father Maka, what he's doing in the East. You see, the bishops are not happy with what he's saying. Bishops are not happy with what he's saying because that's the question. But he being a vocalist and he convinced about what he's doing, he's still coming out to say it. But because he has been ordained as a priest. But that same way I would have been, but I feel, no, I don't want to be a confrontationist. Let me just be who I am and say it from the outside, some blessing from the inside.
You're unhindered, unguided. You're unhindered.
Yeah.
I understand. I really appreciate that. I'm sure even my Kingsman, Right Reverend Matthew Kuka. You know,
yeah.
Yes, I believe some years back he was facing those kind of challenges too, you know, within the country because he was becoming very apolitical. He was involved in a lot of politics in Nigeria.
No, Kuka have been sold from the seminary. When you check his thesis on his long essay, a further project, you see it's a political being. I would have followed the line of Kuka or Father Moka. Kuka is is a political people from the beginning.
Yeah,
This thing is embedded, and there's no how when you want to break it down, it will see it's just like smoke. It will come out in one way or the other.
I see. Yeah,
So
so I'm
what
sure that. Go ahead.
so what Kuka practicing now? I've been on when it was in seminary. I've been on.
Oh,
And you
this
could
is
check it,
impressive.
you could test it. What is longest say? It's longest say in the seminary. For that project in seminary, you could check it. Oh, this guy is supposed to be in. He's have been a strong politician. If Kuka was not a priest, we would have been one of the major politicians in the country.
I agree to that. And Brian, this is why Topoh Spaces is so interesting. I mean, this man is my kingsman. I've never known that this politics is really what he has been doing, even right from studenthood, Some of us just think it's something that he picked up along the way. Now I'm getting to understand that it's really wired. He is wired as a politician, basically.
I mean, those are love truth, right? Like even the idea of going to be like a priest or a pastor to some people is because they can't have that peace or that fulfillment elsewhere. Like you may want to go be something else, but you don't feel happy, or you feel like there is more you want to master. But in spirituality, there's no end. So some people love it because intellectually it challenges them and gives them that some kind of spirit. So that's why you see like the clergy, they're very 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 smart people, very intelligent people, very very, because this is a very vast field, and but then it's easy for them to feel limited because then you find a lot of human constructs like these vows. Yes, those are good for order, but sometimes it gets in the way.
Wow. So I'm happy. I'm happy, Osas, you were able to you made that decision. Have you ever regretted for taking that such kind of decision? Because most of those priests, they have plenty money. In Nigeria, they just go every day, because this is what we think. They go to church, they give offering. After the church, they pack the whole offering and they give it to the Reverend Father. Every day they collect salary. Every Sunday they collect salary. Are you sure you made the right decision?
Yeah, I'm sure I made the right decision, because on a good day, when you look at it, one thing what you should know is, if God calls you, if you go against God's will, God will punish you one way or the other.
Definitely.
And I remember, yes, I'm not using it to, I know since every step I made outside the seminary, I've always, God, even when the door seems closed, God comes away to make it, or it's to open a way for me. And it takes me to another level. If I have not followed up with what I seen, as if in the seminary, possibly I won't have peace, I won't have happiness, because like what I told you about. But I'm happy today. Yes, sometimes you look back, you look at your classmates being a priest, you say, oh, I would have been a priest like these people too. You look at, oh, I would have been a minister preaching and everything. And to be candid with you, the Catholic priests are not like the other. I'm not bringing sentiments here. I'm not bringing in trying to create a Christian division. No, the Catholic priests are different from the priests. Well, like I told you, you take the vow of poverty. You take the vow of poverty. There are some priests that are I can't 1, 2, 3 priests that what they depend on is just 30,000 every month to live. In their offering, they don't get up to 100 naira in their offering.
Whoa.
What they look on is their family. Oh, this is what the family needs to give to me. This is what they go to the bishop local collect money, because this is what their life is. Catholic priest, it's not easy to go through 9 years in the seminary, even spend 10 years in the seminary sometimes. And you come out, you have been, sometimes where you have been posted to this rock, you have to go through river, go through everything to get there. And once at the end of the day, Monday afternoon, you're always there in the church, listen to people, and offering, when you come to the offering, sometimes, yes, some people are lucky to be in the good parishes that have more millionaires, people who they make good money.
Yeah.
There's some parishes who they are not, they're just wooden or poison or pump shifts. And and they have to go through, because that's the vow they make. They have to go through the hardship. They've already made the vow of I want to be poor.
Now I see the philosophy and the connection to which you have with wanting to talk about EFCC, the corruption and all that is going on in this that has backpedaled Nigeria and Africa. I just want to understand you. If you were still in Nigeria, how would you have become a successful politician with all this corruption? Because all the African politicians are corrupt, aren't they?
There's no everyone is corrupt. Even the so-called warriors we look at Saint or models are corrupt.
That's a lot.
Like just Christ said in scripture, if you have not sinned, be the one to cast the stone. But the level of corruption is what matters. Like, okay, if you're going to look at it now, if you're going to look at EFCC, what was the reason EFCC was set up? It was because President Obasanjo. The reason was okay to curb the corruption in the country, because it was alarming. And Nigeria, every Nigerian you see, even today, every Nigerian you see is that a corrupt person. Even among the blacks, not among even among the blacks. Maybe you say you're from Nigeria, they ask you question, oh, Nigeria, they ask you Nigeria, you say yes. Next thing they have different.
Are you? They say, are you a cousin to Hush Puppy? They will think whether.
No, Hush Puppy is the side play. When you meet anybody, even here, even among the blacks, the so-called African brothers, when you come and say, oh, I'm a Nigerian, the question they ask you, are you a Nigerian? They want to define their plan for your mouth. Are you a Nigerian? I say yes. The question is, they have a second thought about you. Oh, that guy is a 4-9. That guy is a 19. Be careful.
He's a 419. He's a Yahoo boy.
He's a Yahoo boy. That tag is already, anywhere you go, is already there. It's you that have to do extra work to prove yourself. Oh, I'm not corrupt. This is who I am. This is my being. It's you that now have to work it out to at least get people to love you, to like you for who you are. That, oh, I'm a Nigerian and I'm proud to be a Nigerian. I'm not corrupt. I'm not deceptive. Because what they see, the tag is you are deceptive, you are corrupt as a Nigerian. This is among your fellow African brothers. We are not talking about the whites. We are not talking about the Indians. We are not talking about the Asians. We are talking about your fellow African brothers who see you as African brother. Immediately you say you are meeting up with a lady.
That's
so
true.
You are looking at a business. You say you're a Nigerian person. Look at, oh, you are coming to business to swap me, to deceive me, to take my money.
Oh my God.
Then your workplace, you say you're a Nigerian. They look at you. The extra eyes is placed on you as a Nigerian compared to other African people. Because you want to say, oh, every step you take, you have been monitored because, oh, this guy is a Nigerian, you'll be corrupt, you want to enrich yourself in the company, wants to. So all eyes are on you.
Jesus Christ.
That is the every Nigerian face.
You're making Brian feel like a saint now. Just like Cameroonian.
That's the reality.
Well, if I think in some cases, then let me just add that if that's the case, then they will be like, why don't you be like the Cameroonians? Although now, like Cameroon, Cameroon is a strange country. We are like the United States. We go big or go home, just like Nigeria. So when we take over in criminality, you guys will respect.
I can agree to that. Paul Biya is rocking how many years now on this?
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, somebody told me here that after Oisin, it was a job I was supposed to get. The guy told me, I like your personality, but you're from Nigeria, I can employ you.
Jesus
and
Christ.
I said, come. And I said, Oisin, I felt bad. And I said, come. Do you know, Oisin, do you know I can take you up with that statement you just made that I'm in Nigeria, you can employ me? That means you're using my race to determine what you want to give to me.
Yeah. Discrimination.
The guy said, I just like you, but there's something about Nigeria, I don't like it. I've made a promise I'm not going to employ Nigerians again because of my experience with Nigerians. And I said, I'm a Nigerian, I'm proud to be a Nigerian, but let's see, at least after 6-7 months, if I'm unable to, if I put myself wrong or you have any other perception about me, I can leave. That's okay. Let's see how it goes. And after 4 months, you know what the guy said? The guy said, why did God create a Nigerian? You don't look like a Nigerian. You don't act like Nigerians.
Yeah, I see.
And I have to make him understand. Not every Nigerian is corrupt. Not every Nigerian is corrupt.
Yes.
Not every Nigerian is corrupt.
There is a comment.
Correct.
And there is a comment from Ayashim Stanley. He says that how can we change the narrative of being a corrupt people in the global face?
Interesting. You remember I actually called Dave for yesterday. You remember, Brian? Yeah. He was one that called when the Can Christian Association chairman Reverend Hayap was speaking.
Yeah.
So he's been consistent with us. Thank you, Ayashim. I mean that question goes to Osas. Yeah. You heard the question, Osas.
Yeah, I had a question. Question is I will give an analogy. I'll give a analogy. Can charcoal be white?
You have to bleach it and then to become something else.
Can you even bleach it?
When you say charcoal, the definition you have about charcoal is black. It's not when you look at this charcoal. The charcoal walk through all the so this when the smoke comes out that is white. It's not why is the charcoal coming out to the whitish form or to come out with a black smoke?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The first one when you say a coal it's black. When you put it on fire, the white smoke is coming. That is the question people have about Nigerians. It's you as a Nigerian to come out, I'm not black, I'm not corrupt. With your waist, your ass, and the way you do things. Because the person is already that you are black, you are corrupt. It's you as an individual that have to come out and say, I'm not corrupt. And if you're going to look at it with what is going on, the government of the day is not helping matters.
All right.
The government of the day, look at what is going on in the issue of the COVID-19, the Magu case that is going on. Look at the NDDC that is going on.
Oh my God. I even forgot that. Jesus Christ. I mean, wait, let me paint this story. this guy, you are really keeping tabs with what is going on in Nigeria. Brian, do you know the NDDC issue that Osas just brought up?
That's what I'm saying.
NDC, am I correct? NDC, right? NDDC is a commission, like from where Osas is from there, the oil producing regions of Nigeria. So this commission is set up, and some special funding is given to that region. So that commission is supposed to administer those funds to provide infrastructure, development infrastructure to that region, aside from what even the federal government is doing. Do you know that they had an ND that stayed there between October to December or January, and she spent 5 billion? Then another one came, another new one was brought in, I think from, Osas, you might correct me, from February to July, he spent over 80 billion naira.
What was he doing with the money? Buying chingom?
Listen, Brian, and when he was taking, when the legislators, the federal legislators, the lower house of federal legislators invited him to come and present and defend that budget, he spoke for some time and he collapsed and fainted.
Is it the man that fainted? Yes. I've seen that one. Yeah, I saw it.
You've seen that. Yeah, sorry, Osa. So you can go on, Osa.
So now, what we're looking at today is to look at the topic of corruption and the EFCC corruption.
Yeah.
And let's go on this EFCC corruption. When the dead president Olusegun Obasanjo looked at, okay, with the bad image Nigeria had even to date, local okay, what do I do? To paint Nigeria in a good light is set up as corruption body, the ICPC and the EFCC. ICPC, that's why about ICPC, because we don't even know if ICPC exists or not. ICPC exists by name, but not by action.
In paper, or when they want to pay their salary.
EFCC is the one that people know. EFCC. The fear of EFCC was the beginning of wisdom in Nigeria. There is no rich man or powerful man that is not scared of EFCC because of the vibe they came in with.
Yeah, that was headed by Nuhu Ribadu, I guess. Yeah.
Nuhu Ribadu, the vibe. Look at before the police was brought up by the EFCC.
Yes.
Look at people.
Wait. Was it Nuhu Ribadu that arrested Tafa Balogun? Was it the IC, the IG that handcuffed him?
Yeah. The zeal. EFCC came into being then. Everybody was scared of EFCC. You look at what is in the damn Macadenuga, the owner of the back home. According to the, you have to scare the news, scare his friends when EFCC was after him.
Who is that?
Macadenuga, before the chairman of the back home.
Wow, that's okay.
The fear of EFCC was the beginning of wisdom in Nigeria then. But what happened? Then they derailed.
Do you know how they started derailing? Because I know normally things like that will start by someone stealing 1 naira, and then after a while it turns to billions.
Well, see, they derailed. How did they derail?
Yeah.
The same person that founded this group, Olusegun Obasanjo, led to the derailment of EFCC. When it came about the third agenda, trying to follow the step of Pobia of Cameroon to install himself as life president.
I see. Well, now I'm happy that Cameroon set an example.
The total agenda, the total agenda, yes, it's derailing. Yeah. Now, the same president will not use anybody as a political foe. The president is using the EFCC to go after those people.
Okay, I see.
Now, if you're the president, next thing the president will say is, I'll send the EFCC after you. So the focus of EFCC, the zeal of EFCC, started derailing even with the person that established it, of Olusegun Obasanjo.
Yeah.
Now look at when you look at it, Nuhu Ribadu came in 2003 and left in 2008. He was tagged as a person also. He was unceremoniously sent out of EFCC.
Okay.
And he was tagged to be corrupt too.
Yes, who? Nuhu Ribadu, right?
Nuhu Ribadu.
Yes.
That he made money from EFCC. Then came Ibrahim Lamrode in 2008.
Yes.
Ibrahim Lamrode came in, his own was to say, okay, every morning academic to enjoy myself. Because they saw EFCC as a pipeline, as a good pipeline. They steal from the poor to enrich themselves. They steal from those people who have stolen, like you steal from people who have stolen before. You say, oh, this person is corrupt, we take whatever it takes, we use to enrich ourselves. The businessmen, the politicians, they take money from them, they put you on time, they put you in the newspaper, they judge you through the newspaper, not following the process of the court, and they use that to enrich themselves. Lamrode was sent out atrociously and left, not out till nobody could hear anything about Lamrode again.
Yes.
He left the country and he ran away from the country, and that was the EFCC chairman.
Yeah.
That came back from 2008 to 2011. Waziri also, according to what's going on, yeah, that she was fired too. Then came the almighty Ibrahim Magu. And when you look at this, with what is going on with Ibrahim Magu, we know that with this thing is how with people who have been chosen entrusted to fight corruption now become corrupt?
Interesting question.
Entrusted to fight corruption now become corrupt.
It's funny. It's confusing.
It's confusing. Look at information that's coming out with the panel led by Justice Salami. Look at the kinds of worms that's coming out from the investigation. Then the question is, can Nigeria be free from corruption? Can Nigeria be free from corruption?
That's a big question.
No. Look at one of the offenses. Okay, 573 million was paid into Pastor Prophet Omole's account.
Yes, by mistake.
He said by mistake. For 4 years, the FCMB could not fathom that money was.
Look, mashallah.
FCMB could not fathom, could not think that there was a mistake posting, even the dry posting. A dry posting cannot go within 3 days without being found out.
My God.
No of money people said, I am saying it was Mr. New. That was when you're moving from one voice from one point to voice. That's when you made the posting. That was an error for good 4 years. Who are we deceiving? Now, after Adanuru, the MD of FCMB, have come out to say it was a bad posting. We made it now. We have rectified it. The spokesperson of FCMB, like I said, oh, the news took it in the wrong form. That there was nothing like that posting. So who's saying? Are you saying the MD doesn't know what he's saying? Look at the houses that have been alleged that Mago are able to watch to start to himself.
Where's the money coming from?
I think this is what he has been saying. I think most times, Brian, to answer to your question, I mean, before Osa's response efficiently, I think basically, they take this money from, they retrieve these monies from which are allegedly stolen from the coffers.
And the question we now ask ourselves is, we raise the question and we ask the question, this somebody ask myself, what is the purpose of EFCC? Is it to fight people who the government perceive as enemy? Is it to fight businessmen who does not key into their, or who does not finance their election? Is it to fight perceived enemies? Because the first 1, 2 years or 3 years of EFCC, that's when we are stuck. This Nigeria is a newborn baby. I've gone through baptism of corruption. Nigeria is not fighting corruption, and corruption will be out of Nigeria. But unfortunately, the then president Obasanjo derived the idea of EFCC.
Oh, you mean it was even from that point that the idea was derailed?
Oh yes, Isaac, you missed it. You missed it. Sorry, he said Obasanjo, he tried to be like Paul Biya from Cameroon. He wanted to be president for life. And so when he had rivalry, he would send the EFCC to the people that were his rivals. So that's how he started little by little.
Yes.
Like that. And then they went
he
off
used
track.
that to fight the people that tried to stop third term. I think that's what.
Yes.
And if you still remember, Isaac, the total agenda. If EFCC really wants to fight, we want to say, okay, this is corruption. Let's talk about the past of India. Let's start when we filed this new dispensation, 1990 date. Are you saying the president should, if EFCC really want to fight corruption, Obasanjo should not be in jail by now? Atiku should not be in jail by now?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Look at the billions of money that Mr. Jonathan Sambo's time. I don't think Jonathan Sambo should be in jail. Jonathan should not be in jail by now. Let's start from where it's when the head is bad, everything that comes with it goes rotting. Because the head hosts everything. That's your brain. Everything. How marriage is wired is in the head. That is your brain and core. And that same thing follows politics. If the president is bad, the governors, the minister, and co follow suit. That's why you see now in the country, a boy is 15 years old is aiming that in the next 5-10 years, in the next 5 years, a 15 years is saying in the next 3-4 months, I want to drive Oisin, I want to drive a Venza. Then you begin to ask the question, how will a 15 years old drive a Venza without no walking?
Yeah.
Look at the case of Malawi case that is going on now. Now Malawi also is not the justice to himself, writing the president that, I'm not guilty, I've been to this business.
And you know, Brian, who did Malami is talking about? That's the Minister of Justice.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Minister of Justice. Anyway, naturally, right? The person that can guard something the most is the person that can steal it best. For example, the best accountant is the one that can really know how to also hide money. You see what I mean? Sense for those people to swear, take oaths to defend the state in the wings of justice, and then
and especially now that he's a Minister of Justice, he's supposed to be the justice defender of the country, and now we having allegations, reports that he's also corrupt. It's really sad.
But why is it that is inevitable? What is it that is it like all of us are flies, and then injustice is like a pot of honey that we must go there and get stuck?
You know what we should know. What we should know is this. What we should know is for corruption to end in Nigeria, using it as a case study, vis-a-vis other African countries. The people have to choose someone who can lead, that you can find a trace of him that, this guy at least have been upright. You can't get a sense. Just as human being, you fall one way or the other, but at least 70% is upright.
Okay.
That's when we can say, that knows what is going to do and make a change. Not people like I'm sorry to use this word, like people like Sheikh Sani. People like Sheikh Sani.
He was here.
Who was always fighting for the masses, but when he got to the Senate, it changed.
Well, we had Usani here, I think last week, and that same perception was asked about him, and he answered, replied, and I have a different opinion about what you have just read, but just go ahead. I will respond to that accordingly. So it was when he was government, he could not voice out the way he could voice out. Look at people like Central Smart Adeyemi, who was always writing against the government. Right? So this should be what should be. And when he got to Senate, he joined the clique. Look at the spokesman of the president, Additional. Look at some people like what's this guy's name, Ruben Abati. Who people look at, these people are upright, but when they got bent, it's a different ball game entirely. But let me say something there. You know, first of all, sometimes it depends on how what kind of services you are providing to the government. Like Ruben Abati now, he was a presidential spokesman. Although we heard that, I think Ruben Abati's issue was that after Jonathan left, I think EFCC, was he found wanting in terms of some money issues? Well, some money issues, yeah. Yeah. So it's not part of what I want to say now. But for Femi Adesina, who at least up until this moment, we have not heard anything linking Femi Adesina with some money issue. The question is, hold on. My question is, it's not about linking up with some money issue. I point Femi Adesina. Why is it Femi Adesina? Because of what you are eating, because of what you are benefiting from people who are corrupt. You cannot say this is the truth. Okay, let me ask you now. If you are the president of Nigeria If you are the president
Yeah.
of Nigeria, and if you are the spokesman for the president of Nigeria, as Femi Adesina is,
Yeah.
would you always say what your boss does not want? Because first of all,
That
you are
that
the president.
that
You are,
that hold on. I said something. When you asked me why did I leave the seminary, I told you on a self-conviction.
all
On a
right.
self-conviction, will I be able to take up as a priest and be happy with myself? The person you want to choose, that was choosing as a spokesperson, who said you only have one house in Kaduna and have 3 cows. And you know, check it out, you know, this is not, he said, it's not, does not tally with what he's saying. And it's choosing as a spokesman. And you know what you are going to do there as a spokesman is to lie to the people. And you know, if you want to believe as a motto, as a vision, your philosophy, you feel so I'm sorry, I won't be able to take this up because of what my idea is going to go against my own idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if a lot of people like resign like that, then the question will be asked: if there's one person and then 10 people don't want to work with, what's the problem? I will kick him
No,
out of
question is like I'm saying,
yeah,
I said something. Your personal idea and conviction should make you feel this is what I want to do, this is what I want to achieve.
yeah,
If this thing is good, this thing is wrong. If this thing is wrong, and you know, diplomatically, yes, diplomatically, that's the way you portray it as.
yeah,
You are not saying it's true, you are not saying it's wrong.
yeah.
It's time for people to dissect and know what you want to pick on from it. But you apparently coming to say, oh, what is right is wrong. Then something is there. I feel something is wrong. As for me, additional,
You are saying that Femi, if you were Femi Adesina, he should have resigned on personal philosophy to say ideology and philosophy. And I think Brian is trying to say that if we have people resigning like that from this position, I mean, people will now question the leader and say, what kind of leader?
That's people question the leader. Ask, this is why people resigning from the government? Why people going out of the government?
Yeah.
That will put government on its toe.
Yeah.
And if you resigning, you know that yes, you are going to face consequences. Because the government is not going to leave you. They will tag you corrupt, they will tag something against you, they want to destroy you, destroy your family. But you should be ready to, because you are already eating with the devil, and you should bet consequences of what that's going to give to you too.
But that would be really hard because the way the world is today, right? Take for example, we've had cases where we dealt with traffickers where they do oaths that you will not talk about what happened in there. And then now, since the Oba destroyed that, the mafia is stepping in. So when you have kids, even like in movies, whenever you want to bring someone down, check what does he have to lose. If you have a family, you have kids, they can use that to threaten you. Should it be like the Catholics that no priest should have kids?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When you are picked up as a minister, a spokesman, you want to work in the cabinet, there is oath of secrecy which you take.
Okay.
You take oath of secrecy. You don't reveal it, and it's classified information.
Okay.
You don't speak. You don't say it out.
Yeah, there's clearance. You need clearance to even know certain things.
Pardon?
I said there's also clearance that when you don't have the clearance, you don't know certain things.
Yeah, you don't have no certain things.
Yeah.
But as a spokesman, you just want to come. Even if the president is killing people, you just want to come out and people say the president is killing. As a spokesman, you just say no, that is not killing. That is just touching.
Okay, I see. All right.
But on a good day, your conviction, you don't say, oh, is this thing actually morally right? What people know me of, or being an upright person, does it not tally with does it not go against my personality or my image? Because all the presidents after 8 years, Buhari will leave power, and every member of the cabinet will leave with him. What happens after Buhari leaves? Are you still going to have that moral justification to talk after Buhari leaves?
Sure.
We should have that broad justification to say this is how things are. And people will not question you. When your government, your government power, did you say talk to this?
Yeah.
Like in the short, that brings me to that okay, we as youth control the country.
Yeah.
The youth control the country, and it's time for the youth to say, oh, this is the people we want in power. Like when you look at Nigeria have been rotating the same form of leaders from the beginning.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Nigeria have been becoming the former military leaders. Nigeria have been rolling them back as the civilian leaders again. The former leaders which said brought Nigeria down, Nigeria still be voting them into power.
Yeah.
In the form of military civilian government. Those who are in military, who don't want to see civilian government, who fought against the civilian government, they are coming back as civilians now to contest, and they are winning power, they are taking over power. Is that the country Nigeria wants? It's time for us to look at someone like Drojae. He have no money, he have nothing to say, okay, this is what to put this person in. Let's say, what to have his word, what to put this person. Someone like Sawore, what can Sawore offer? Someone like Falano, what can Falano offer? We look back into the north, we look at someone like Kone Uma.
Yes.
What can Kone Uma offer? These are people we should look at and say, okay, these are people who have already been speaking at. Indirectly, they may be faulty in one way or the other, but at least they still stand above board.
Yes. They have the level of integrity proven by what they.
These are people we should look at. Okay, Uma. Let me use the two. Uma. I'm sorry to use the word. Let's remove away from it. These three people, Uma, these are people who can look at. So these are people who at least they can make a change. Not Tinubu, who have used the government, the Lagos money.
I was just about to ask you about Tinubu. You know, then I said, let us not do his campaign. Let us not. But again, we have to talk about
not someone like Oshomole. No, these are the people.
But a lot of people think that Tinubu believe that Tinubu is responsible by the development of Lagos, because you would agree with me if you have been in Nigeria in recent times that Lagos has been doing very well in the last 10 years.
You know, question is, well, Tinubu ideology, Tinubu sagacity is very rare for you to see somebody who has this IQ or political ideology of Tinubu, sagacity of Tinubu is very rare in Nigeria. But when you want to look at the corruption aspect of it, what we are talking about is not about, will Tinubu be able to win this thing? No. What we are talking about is the corruption aspect of it.
Yes.
Tinubu have the capability, maybe big leaders, are able to make people leaders. Nobody is disputing that. Tinubu have been able to set Lagos in the road, right map that other people, other governments following him have been able to follow up. But why is he doing that? Is he doing it for Lagos people for his own selfish interest?
That's the question.
When Ambode derailed from his own selfish interest, what happened to Ambode? When Ambode said, oh, we're not going to continue this contract and make billions from Lagos, we're going to set another contract, another platform to help Lagos. What did he do?
Kicked him out.
He kicked him out because it's not following the agenda of, you know how many billions are speaking from Lagos every day? And for you to voice him, until Tinubu is removed from power or any form, Tinubu will control whoever is going to be the governor of Lagos.
That's mafia. That's real mafia right there. Yeah, seriously, it's not a joke, Isaac. I mean, that's mafia, man. Like, someone owes you a favor, and then if you look at, I would say movies, but the way the mafia really works, right? It's about having the police in your pocket, having leadership in your pocket, putting who you want, where you want. Yeah. That's
You're
mafia.
Right. Right. That's a complete mafia.
Have you read about this? Have you read this copy of Machiavelli?
Pardon?
Rockefeller.
what?
No,
The original version of Machiavelli.
no. I would like to
Original
read it.
Battle of Machiavelli.
No, Rockefeller.
Machiavelli
Oh,
version. The
Machiavelli.
book
Oh,
Machiavelli.
okay. Yes, I've
Okay,
read a bit of
Machiavelli,
it.
yeah,
Yes.
Machiavelli, the one that too, the prince. Yes, I've tried to read it.
Yeah.
I didn't finish a lot of Elizabethan English, but yeah, I know part of it.
That is politics where system Babangida played, and that is when you look at that set between Babangida politics and Tinubu's politics. But that military government and Tinubu the same way.
I see.
You
Even
give it out of the
in
way, you
Cameroon.
feed them, let people be poor.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, it's what there's this story, that this narrative that a leader picked up a chicken and he put out the feathers one by one. The chicken was going through pain, blood was going out of the chicken's body. And after they put all the feathers on the chicken body, he threw the chicken on the ground and poked grains on the ground. The chicken forgot the pain and was eating the grains.
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
That is the politics Nigerian politicians are doing, but Tinubu is playing. We will punish them, but we'll give them little things to us.
I mean,
we'll make money from them.
Yeah. I mean, man, it's the same thing where in engineering today, like even in software, someone causes a problem and solves it. When he solves it, he's the hero, but he's the one that spoils it in the first place. You see what I mean? I spoil something, and then when I fix it, you sing my praises. But if I didn't spoil it, it would not be bad. You see what I mean? So why that? Why really spoil something only to come and fix it again? You're wasting your time and the time of the country.
You want to be seen as hero. You want to be seen how Tinubu is the one that changed Lagos place. Look at from the onset after Tinubu's tenure. Look at what happened to Fashola. If it was not people like David Mark and Co that kept begging for Fashola would have gone for second time. Even when Fashola left power, when the president chose him as the minister of housing, you went against Fashola because you felt that Fashola is going to have the power. You're going to take power from him.
Yeah, Tinubu did not like it. Yeah, it was reported that Tinubu.
You want to get Tinubu. Look at when everybody came in. What Tinubu wants is somebody I will tell you do this. He's still the one governing. I still the one making the money. I doesn't want his fund from Lagos because no one is making from Lagos. And I will tell you, look, on a good country, a country that you want drag corruption out, with what Tinubu did during the last election, billions of a election. Billion of driven to his building, and nobody could raise eyebrow. EFCC could not come after him. I will say we want the country to be free.
EFCC again.
You move is your money. How did you come about the money? Well, one thing is I feel that was corruption. I feel yes, maybe a very brutal way. All the past leaders set up a panel, all those who have been power of authority, which we wouldn't want to put them out. Ask them how did they come about their money before they join politics. Let's find a trace. I was into business. This kind of business was directed so and so. Extra said to me for me. And I invested this extra to this point and I make money from it. Yeah. This is one transaction which I have.
Yeah. And tax returns, like here in the States, that's why you see sometimes they ask for Trump's tax returns, like tax returns.
We track investments. We track whatever I generated money from him. I will track. Okay, does this guy what is saying he works? Now you are being government. What is your stock code? What is your salary? What is your benefits? After leaving office, can we say your benefit and extra code is the same what it should be? Or is above? By so doing, we need to say, okay, this is it and this is it and this is it. But no, this person was the government. This person was rich before he came to government. And when he was leaving government, his salary, his everything falls into this. This is what it's worth. Yes, this guy is free. This guy is free. This guy is not corrupt. But in us ministers,
I mean, those sounds like very great ideas. But how very practical, how very realistic is it to do that, to get those things done practically.
You
Because
know,
go ahead.
what will happen is, like I said, the youth. Look at what is happening Big Brother Nigeria. 23 million people voted in the last election, but Big Brother Big Brother Nigeria was able to record 170 million votes.
Wow.
23 million votes brought in the president, but Big Brother recorded 170 million votes.
Wow, are you serious? Are you serious about that figure? 170 million.
Go read it on the news. It's on news. Big Brother recorded 170 million votes in the last one. Now, that needs to tell you that the youth owns the power. If the youth comes up to them and says, "Oh, we don't want you. We don't want you as the president of this country. You are gone for good."
Exactly.
If the youth say this is what we want, that's Nigeria. The question is the future of Nigeria.
Now the question now is, what makes the Big Brother Nigeria more attractive, so much that it attracts the commitment of the youth? You understand? More than the politics. How do we get the youth to participate in the politics?
That's what I'm pointing out. Nigerian youth have to be conscientized and reconscientized.
A lot of people are hungry. A lot of people are hungry. If you start telling them that they are hungry, they are depending on politicians to eat.
That's what I'm saying.
But it comes to that problem that they take out your feather, then throw you corn, and then you think that the corn is all matters.
Yeah, okay.
Let's give you a story. Femi Falana comes up and says, "Okay, I want to contest for election." Or Umar comes up and says, "I want to contest for election," under unknown party. And people like Tinubu comes up, "I want to contest under APC." Atiku comes up and says, "I want to contest under PDP." The youth can single-handedly install Umar or Femi Falana as the president of the country and let money, the billions of naira that be stolen from Nigeria by this article.
I like to understand how you think that is realistically possible for the youth of Nigeria to move away from, to not to vote, you understand, this money back, given that Nigeria is highly impoverished. And if the youth make a larger number of the population, it means that this poverty hits the youth more. So I like to understand what would make them move away from this money bags and cut their votes to somebody that totally will not give them anything for their votes.
For that to be done, the youth have to be conscientized. If we don't change our mind, Nigeria will still be the same.
How do you conscientize a hungry man as against somebody that has bread and butter, of which showing?
Do you know? Okay, I want to ask you.
Yes.
During the last election that brought in, last election that was held between Jonathan and Buhari, that brought in President Muhammadu Buhari.
Yes.
Who made a change? Who made a change? The youth.
Well, the youth. Yes, I agree.
What we are doing now, is conscientizing the youth.
Yeah, exactly.
It's conscientizing the youth that, oh, this is the future, this is the change, this is the mindset we have to have. Anything you are sent out, if you pass a message across, once, you pass a second time, third time, fourth time, it will sink one way or the other.
Good.
So what we are doing now to make the youth see, oh, this is what we need to do. Any platform, the ICT platform, any social media, use social media, go to Instagram, go to Twitter, go to anything, bring the conscientize them. Make them see, even if they are not raising it, or whether they are straight into they are big conscientized.
I agree.
And mainly the youth is conscientized. It will not be the next election, it may not be the next two elections, it will be the third elections that are going to have that change. And mainly the change is we're able to have that change to take this money back. Go away with your corruption. We don't want a new change, a new Nigeria. a new Nigeria, a new Nigeria. And
so
not just Nigeria, a new.
I like to ask you again.
I'm
Because,
coming.
okay,
Just give me. Not
okay.
just Nigeria, a new African body, a new African leaders. Like what is happening in Rwanda? That was faced with genocide and co, and now they're standing tall with their head up.
I love Rwanda.
Now we can say we want a new African body, new leaders. Now with that new leaders, we can say, come up with choosing that new leaders. We can say, okay, the new leader which you are choosing already know what he's going to face. Because he knows that his trust has been trusted on him. He must not betray the people. And what can we do? Now the new leader can say, okay, remember we're talking about corruption. New leaders also look at the party to choose ministers. New leaders look at outside the party to choose somebody who will work, that will not be corrupt, who will not bring them to his name.
Yeah, there should be no parties then. Just kill the party. Because there's no reason why I would have a party and my party wins and then I choose people out of my party.
No, I'm telling for Nigeria to be great, for Africa to be great.
Yeah.
We're not, if you have a sense, if you have people who can work and not say your image. This is a new Nigeria we're talking about. This is a new African body we're talking about.
Yeah.
The youth have to say, okay, this is what we want. We want a new body, a new leader.
We understand what you're saying, Osas, but we're sympathizing the youth. We're trying to get realistic, realistic ways of achieving this, right?
Yeah.
This is why Brian asked, you are a Republican today, you have voted a Republican. Why you go choose a Democrat to come and serve under your... How realistic is that?
Hold on, may I ask the question from you? If I may ask the question from you. The Democrats, let's use Nigeria, the APC and the PDP.
Yes.
Are they greater than Nigeria?
No, they are not.
Are they party in Nigeria?
Are they what?
Are they parties in Nigeria?
Are they practicing Nigeria?
Parties, political parties in Nigeria?
Yeah.
No, they are not the only two parties in Nigeria.
Hold on, what I'm asking is, APC or PDP, are they greater than Nigeria?
No, they are not greater than Nigeria. They will never
are
be.
Are they political parties in Nigeria?
Yes.
The vision of these parties, is it for the future of Nigeria or for the future of Nigeria? Are they there for the future of Nigeria? Yes or no? When they follow the political parties, what the agenda, their manifestos are, want to make a change in Nigeria? Is that not?
Yes, they claim their manifesto is for Nigeria.
It's for Nigeria. That means they're not greater than Nigeria. Whether you are person X or person Z in each of the political parties, you are in what confers you are a Nigerian. What confers is that you are a Nigerian. And that should be a watchword. Not what state are you from. Because I feel that state and culture should be out of it. Maybe I'm able to, as a president, you come in and say, upon the election of the country, you are giving me your rights to lead you. You are giving me your power. Submit your power to lead you. I am not for any party. I'm for Nigeria. And if you see somebody who is very upright and knows all news, is in party B, you have to let your party know, I'm not choosing this person because of this. And you are choosing because he's Nigerian, and you pick him up. And look at the two parties, there's nobody that can choose that. It's outside it's outside the political parties. Pick the person because he's a Nigerian. And basically, when you see that person is derailing outside your idea and ideology, fire the person and let another person come in that can take it to waste. That is where we now say, okay, Nigeria first. That's when we cannot see the new Nigeria.
So by your projection now, when do we see this happening in Nigeria?
So, now boils down to corruption. If you can see that, you see anybody that's going to lead that corruption body, we want to look at it from the beginning, from the body to Magu, they always come from the police force. And you know the stigma police have in this country.
Yeah. Very bad.
Very bad. And this, you are choosing people to have a very bad stigma, have a very bad name to lead that corruption. Does it have to come from the police force? Let someone that's going to lead the next, now, the person that is still choosing again to be acting capacity, still for the police force. And you know the stigma which
police has.
Wow. So one question is, you have to choose somebody who is outside. We're not saying that everybody in police force is bad. Choose somebody who's upright in police force. Choose somebody for in the justice system. Choose somebody who's upright
justice.
Military form. Or in
like I mean, like Hamid Ali, the custom boss,
or accountant, or forensic accountant.
You're a forensic accountant. Like we have somebody doing very well in custom. He's a retired colonel, and he was,
bring somebody like Colonel Umar to my head the corruption body. Bring somebody like Pemfalano to my head the corruption body.
Yes, if you are sincere, bring those kind of people. Exactly.
Bring people like Pemfalano. Bring somebody like Umar, Colonel Umar. I stand up every time for Colonel Umar. Bring somebody like those people, those two people from the north and from the south to come ahead that corruption body. And let's see how Nigeria is going to make a change. There will be, you see a new transformation, a new change in Nigeria. Now, how you ask the question now, when do I foresee that this will take place? Yeah. I don't see it. It's not. There's no. The future is not. I'm trying to use the word. It's not. There's no bright future with Nigeria.
Wow.
That's the plan. Until Nigeria youth are able to say, oh, now we want a change. We don't want military leaders who is coming back as civilian leaders to rule us again.
Yeah.
We don't want past leaders, either minister, ambassadors who have been in 70s to still come and rule us again. We want a new body entirely who can make that change.
Yeah.
Who can make that change?
Yeah. I have something to say about that. If while we're growing up, right? Like our parents would buy equipment like new TVs, new computers, decks and stuff. And to them, those things still have so many buttons. So they will leave us to control those. They could tell us, change me this channel, search for new channels. But that's because we are younger, we connect with those things better. So I think similarly with the country, that should happen. The country is changing. So if you put those old people, it will be like giving them a computer. They will wonder like, what button should I press? So but we need the use of the current times, because those are the people that can think fast in light of the current challenges. They're the ones that can manage scalable solutions. The use of today know how to use social media platforms, know how to use Google, know how to use the current technology to make their own decisions. So similarly in government, maybe if they have to strike a deal with China, they'll be able to do the correct analysis using the tools of today, as opposed to some old guy that may not really know or lead a community that will get the quality information they need. And that's how with the current things, that's how we go up signing deals with the devils, and the future generations keep getting stuck. Yeah. And then I don't think we need political parties. Like a lot of people have spoken about this, like even Gaddafi. Because if you have 2 or 3 parties, if party A wins, they will do all things their way. When party B wins, it will repeal what party A did and then put what B wants. When C wins, they will repeal what A and B did and put what they want. Then when A wins again, it will repeal. So the country keeps going up and down like ping pong. So.
Yeah. For me, there's no how you know. There's no how you know how political parties, people of different ideas. And when you look at Nigerian political parties, do they really follow their ideas or their ideology? Do they? No. Nigerian politicians are the worst people or set of people I've ever seen in the world. They are the worst set of people that I've ever seen in the world. Nigerian politicians comes up, okay, today I'm for this is what we believe in. This one. Immediately, the party he belongs to is not favoring him. He crosses the other party. that will favor him.
Yeah, like what is happening, like what is happening in your home state now.
Immediately, that one doesn't favor him. He moves to another party. He goes into form another party. Immediately, that one, the party he forms does not favor him. Go against it. He moves to another party. Then you begin to ask, do they really have any form of ideology in their system? What they want is what is going to make their pockets. What is going to make what is going to make their 100 years generation secured?
Exactly.
Look at what is happening in Ondo State. The deputy governor leaving APC to PDP. When he lost that in the PDP's primary, he went to LP. Because why? He wants to contest as a governor. Are you saying that governor have an ideology? No. Does not have any ideology.
He just wants to be governor.
What? He just wants to be governor.
Yeah. He just wants to be governor.
Look at what's happening in the Senate. Look at what is happening with the former speaker.
Yeah.
Former speaker. What is his name again?
Dogara. Yes.
Are you saying Dogara have ideology? No.
You know what I saw today? You know what I saw today on Facebook? I saw a vehicle where they painted a campaign vehicle where they are saying that Dogara is going to deputize for Tinubu as vice president.
Dogara will not even in the line. The person I'm likely to deputize for Tinubu is El-Rufai. Dagora is not on the line. Dagora is not there. He's not on the line.
You mean El-Rufai from Kaduna? You mean El-Rufai from Kaduna?
Yeah.
But
you know that recently, last year or so, El-Rufai and Tinubu had a little bit some kind of.
No, then when you look at the game, it was a game plan. 2023, if I'm right, that's the next election.
Yes.
So a game plan. They foresee Tinubu contesting, and here people like Tinubu is contesting 2023.
Yes.
So the game plan, Fashola and Co. to bring it down. And like I told you, Tinubu have this sagacity, is on his own politics. But is he using to benefit the people of Lagos or to use to enrich himself?
Yes.
And his cohort?
Yes.
When they saw that, oh, this guy cannot be played with, that's what they said. If you listen to him on Tuesday, he said when we should move towards the south.
Yes.
Because
yes.
Right now, he's going to be for vice president.
Yes. Exactly. Correct. You are a very good political calculator yourself. Yeah.
Anybody that wants to file in for policies will bring in a file. We'll bring in and there's no in the north now. If I'm going to look at the plus or minus, there is no political person that can come up as a vice president like El-Rufai.
Yeah, are you talking about in terms of political cloudness, or you're talking about in terms of him having the capacity here to deliver on the dividends of democracy?
No,
because in terms of political cloudness, right now, El-Rufai is not in a very good sitting. This is my thinking with the northern governors, his counterparts in the northern government, because they think he has been trying to show them that he's more educated, he's more advanced, and all of that.
El-Rufai, we like it or not, El-Rufai is brilliant. The guy is good, upwise. And when you look at it, the political plot also, El-Rufai is there. El-Rufai have followers. Their marginaries and co are there for him. You think what is going on in Southern Kaduna is not politics? Do you think it's not politics?
It's politics. We know.
It's not telling you that it's an internal politics. You and I don't know. It's only the people who knows about what's going on can say, oh, this is it. Everybody said to the Muslim world, I'm fighting the jihad. I'm sorry to do the jihad for the people, the Muslim people. Support me. I fought against the Muslims. That's what I'm saying. And you could say what they are saying, everything. El-Rufai said this is what I want, this is what I want. El-Rufai have people is building that image I'm using. I'm not religious. I'm not going to create a religious war.
Yeah, we're talking about politics, man. You're analyzing it. Yes, we know he's playing a.
That's what everybody is building that for himself. You see, I'm finding the jihad for you. Are you going to do it? And they are seeing it. The core Muslims in the northern part are seeing it. Oh, this government is the one always fighting the jihad for us.
But he has been criticized for that, like his methods. Like this once he's been criticized for creating hate or enforcing hate, like him offering money to those that will like kill Fulani or something. There's some tweets that we read on this. So me now hearing that he's even looking at the bigger position in power is frightful. I mean, like if you give someone some small chicken, I see the way he has sampled some small chicken in a smaller kitchen, then he's looking at a bigger kitchen. Like that's frightful.
Yeah, African politicians are arrogant. Maybe he's thinking that he really does not care whatever you think about him. At the end of the day, it is his power, and his political connection that gets him there.
Yeah. Look at what's happening. Look at what's happening against the guy, the musician that's sentenced to death for blasphemy.
Yes, in Kano.
Look at what the son said. If the father had not assigned it to say it, the son will have no audacity to come out and say, that is the right thing to do.
Oh, any first son says that that's the right thing to do.
So yeah.
Terrifying guy.
and this is not the first time this guy is coming up with negative vibe.
With scandalous issues. Yes, you're right.
So if the father is not, that ideology is not from his father, the son will have the audacity to come out and say so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes father and son things, if the relationship things could be just out of some kind of other disagreement somewhere else. So we can't really use that as a sign for.
No, hold on. This is the ideology of Erufai.
Yeah.
This is the ideology of Erufai. And if you look at that was a stigma that came up that happened, and it all came out. And the mother also supported the view of his son. That is for you to know this is what is going on in the family. This is family discussion.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Like
this family discussion.
Yeah.
And they just they come out to say this is a youth. Let him throw it out. If the governor come out to say such a thing, people will go against the governor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let people know that his son is vocal, or let his son come out and listen on the streets. Come out with the streets. So they use that to test the ground to know what is going on. What people say.
Yes. Yes. I agree.
So question is, Tinubu is already there. People already say they like it or not. Tinubu is flying. That's what all this what is going on in APC is Tinubu's 2023 election. I like it or not. If Tinubu comes up and say he contests and wins the election in Nigeria, yes, Nigeria will have another roadmap. Do you know what I'm saying? But corruption is going to escalate more.
Because he looks like the kind of people that democratize election.
Look at what look at the small resources Lagos have. Look at how the guy have been able to enrich himself with Lagos money. You can't billionaires in Nigeria today. Tinubu, you must have Tinubu.
Yes.
Are you saying that other governors also did not get the circle like Tinubu? Are you saying that governors not get salary like Tinubu? Tinubu working with Shell. How much was the salary? What was the total package when they left? So you should know that look at the money that he made to himself as governor of Lagos for just 2 years. The 8 years for just 2 times of 8 years. Now look at how Nigeria as a whole, entity of Nigeria as a whole to himself. Yeah. For 8 years. Another 8 years. Look at money that's going to come out through gold, through bitumen, through cocoa, through oil.
Yeah. Well,
Somebody already look at the bigger picture. Oh, I made money from Lagos. Nice for me to make myself. Oh, what's it? To gather the major part of national cake. It's not for the youth to say, oh, come to our country. Tinubu, Atiku, we don't want you.
yeah.
That's a major.
It's not for the Nigerian youth to say, if people of Parliament is going to come out and say we want to contest as the next president of this country, let the Nigerian youth queue at the back of Parliament. If people like Dana Kona Umar is going to come and say, I want to contest as president of Nigeria, let the youth of Nigeria come out and say, we want to stand at the back of Kona Umar. If somebody like Georgia comes over and say, I want to contest as president of Nigeria, let people come up and say, I want to the Nigerian youth say, we want to contest, we want to stand at the back of Georgia. Now, after you choosing this person and guy finally wins the election, if he goes against the idea or the vision of the Nigerian youth, they can also remove him as the president of the country.
Yes.
Let the Nigerian youth say, oh, this is the president we want. This is Senate, members of the Senate we want to choose to represent us in the democracy. Members of the House of Representatives we want to choose to represent us. These are the governments we want in different states. These are Nigeria. The government does not want to always have government election. Government is government allocation. They don't want local governments. So we can't talk about government in Nigeria. So if the Nigerians are saying this is what we want, now we are doing them, and they have the same right to remove you if you are not doing what we want. Nigeria is not with the leaders again, it's with Nigeria.
Yeah.
The future of what Nigeria will be great tomorrow lies with Nigeria youth, not with the leaders again. If I will stop at corruption, lies with the Nigerian youth, not with the leaders again. They have done since independence, 1968, and they have failed contribution. It's not time to say contradictory.
I think it's breaking. Yeah, I think it's breaking.
Yeah, it's seriously breaking. Yeah.
Yeah, but I get the idea. The youth, and even in Cameroon too. Yeah, because the future, the youth are the future. The youth, they're the future. Like if these old people just keep staying there, they'll be doing what old people do, like just having fun with their friends. So you know, old people like whiskey, some kind of, not all old people, but I mean, just to paint the picture, they'll have their own brotherhood too. So they'll just be appointing each other, and doing what they do. Whereas the country will be there sinking, and the youth of today are the ones facing the challenges, because take a situation where you have youths, yes. How will you cope with other countries? Like now, see, like us, we're youth, right? It's not like we're having this discussion with the president. So if we're leading our country to our friends who be coming up in other countries are the other leaders, maybe we met them in the university or not, or maybe in clubs or wherever. But if there is this thing where there's so many old people in power, then they will not even be able to connect with each other. Like you have friends who in university and they're in good positions, maybe as CEOs or business owners now, and they want to bring change in their localities. But if they try to connect with their countries, there are old people there, so there'll be a mismatch of ideologies. So that way, the country itself will just be going down the drain. But
And this
anyway,
is what Africa is suffering from.
yeah.
You know, I mean, look at Paul Biya. Paul Biya is how many years there?
Many years.
You know, I mean, if you, I'm not a Cameroonian, but if you want to take Paul Biya down now, his peers will be telling you are a small boy, keep quiet, you don't know what is happening.
It's so confusing. Yeah, people can, and also it comes back. Just so we summarize, we're almost like 2 hours, so let's be rounding up. It comes down to this thing where, and I've noticed that in Africa, people like to give excuses, right? and we even have heard it in the cases of the terrorism where the government starts playing the role of explaining what is happening. So that's like an excuse. So instead of them fighting it, they're telling you that, oh, this thing happened because of so. How is that my business? Who put you there to solve the problem? And you're instead explaining the problem to me. So you not be different from like a road engineer who is there saying, oh, there's a pothole because of the weight of a camion or these big cars that have passed, so it creates a pothole. Is that my business? I don't want the pothole there, and you were put there in the first place.
Yeah.
So once we start, and that comes as a result of complacency and mediocrity and things like that, where we start ignoring some kind of small details, and before we know it, they've piled up into like big issues that we can't handle anymore. And that's the thing happening in Cameroon too, because for a start, you're bullied when you want to say something. Maybe it's tribalism, all of this. You want to say something, people think that you're not person enough to say it. And when you want to challenge the political system, someone who is eating from it feels like, first, if you're an Anglophone, like, what are you even saying? Get out of here. If you're from a small tribe, they're like, what are you even saying? Get out of here. You see what I mean? So all of those pile up into a system where you can't
You
even
know,
express yourself.
for me, another view I have is when youth of like minds comes together,
Mm-hmm.
forget about the tribe, the region, or the clan which you belong to.
Yeah.
They have the same right mind and comes together. That this is what we want.
Mm-hmm.
They can be able to build a future and build a goal and lead the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And why, like now, what we are doing now, at least, Branson, you came into the picture, Isaac, and I'm coming to the picture, and you have over 2,000 people following that same picture, following that picture. Next 2-3 months, it's 10-15,000 people. Before you know it, this platform grows. That's what I'm saying. It's not only focusing on Nigeria, it's focusing on Africa in general.
Yeah.
And people say, okay, this youth we as youth can say, this is what we want. This is what we want. And this is what, but the fear is who's going to be the card.
Yeah.
As for now, they say, I don't want to die.
Mm.
I want a papa for house. Mama
Mm.
for house.
Mm.
I want build house. I want drive car. And
Yes.
police people go start to clap our face. We don't go talk. I mean, man go start to beat us. We do look like monkey.
Exactly. That's what happens.
So then, if we are going to Fela is the product of his own, and if all what Fela is saying is what is actually happening now in all African countries in the world, in African countries, now what do we do as youths? We need to stand up. Yes, for we to make a change, many people will die, many people will lose their life, but the change will come. The change will come. That's true. Because another thing is, yes, I always try to bear the card. Some people say, oh, you can't find this, you're in US, you're talking. Come to Africa and go and face it. You don't know what we are going through in Africa.
I am coming.
Come to Africa and face it. Because you're in the US, because you feel come to Africa. Yes, you US, you have one or two things.
Yeah, hello?
Even if you're in the US, you have one or two things. That's what you're facing in Africa too. You have a family member, you have friends who seek cause out to you. We need this thing. You know what is going through in Africa.
Yeah, true.
A lot of brains are in Africa to the Western world, to main impact in the Western world. Youth. Brains are living in Africa,
Yeah.
living in Africa, living in Africa, living in Africa. Is that picture what Africa want to continue? It's time for youth in Africa. It's time for youth to say, come to 2023. The president said Nigeria youths are lazy. If Nigeria is very serious, when the president first made the statement that Nigeria is lazy, the president ought not have come back and said,
You're breaking.
Nigeria ought to use their votes to tell the president we're not lazy. We put the vote, we put it in, and we're so replace it. But what happened? The president passed the second time. Now, 2023 is coming. It's time for the Nigerian youth to come and say, it's time for us to vote the right leader, not the money. Because if members continue to lead us, Nigeria will still be in that centerness. We're still going to be in that wilderness. We need all these members, all these family leaders to rule the country, to live. Ministers or ambassadors to live.
Yeah, true.
We want people who are above, not talking about angels, but humans who are strong to be above to lead us.
Yeah.
People who are people, at least you know what I'm about today about you can say that guy is about military. That guy's not open that will see that people. This is what talk about people that guy are but those that they have that what you say about at least they are above. These are leaders who should so these are what let's PDP. Let's choose new leader. Let's choose new leader. Let's look leaders who can come as you say, go as a contest. We are in support of you. We will vote for you. Nigerians are coming and say tomorrow, make leaders. We don't have the money. We don't look for one leader to buy this for you. We are going to contribute whatever we need. Give ourselves for you to be the president. And you we are putting you as president. And you saw him as president. Nigeria, we don't want to make cabinet to get leaders who can take the job in Nigeria.
Yep.
And you can also send it to all these cells that is busy in money, sleeping in the state. Tell them to make us sleeping in whatever is their Ghana was going steady. Get all of us and choose new as new set leaders. Same people go and have a assembly. Nigeria used to be changed. It's only when we come with the voice, a single voice.
Yeah, true.
Go in and choose leaders that will lead us. That's what can make a change. If not, we still to come back to rural the same cycle.
Yeah.
The same cycle.
Yeah, so thanks, Jude. Thanks a lot for all the discussion. Like we said before, we would try to create a schedule where where we're having all these kinds of discussions in the spheres of politics and everyday life, so we can begin to do the change and bring the change that we want to see. So thanks very much for your time and for this session. Isaac disconnected. I think his network issues. But I'll connect with him and you and I will connect. Thanks to those that were listening. Shout out to Ayeshim Stanley. Shout out to everyone that was there. Until we meet again. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Peace.